pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sorry I'm starting a little bit late, but our boys were out on the road since 9 o'clock last night. 3:30 was by my house, the light on, flash, and oh no, they're up. Okay. Welcome to a meeting of the Stamford Selectboard. If you have a matter to discuss that is not included on the agenda, you may do so by addressing the chairperson and stating your name and address. You will notice that all our meetings are recorded, and this is to aid with the summarization of the minutes. Visitors are welcome, and we allow 5 minutes of comment per visitor and 15 minutes per topic. Discussions will be held in a calm and civilized manner and respectful of others. Select board members present are
Mike Denal.
Nancy Bashika.
John Dunn, Eric Kamari.
Will there be any adding of items or removing of items from tonight's agenda?
I have new correspondence that's come in.
Okay. I have a couple of things here. One, prepare for the town meeting Monday night. Change your shirt again. I think that was all I had. Yeah. Will there be any adjustments to the agenda, such as changing the order of items? And Jeb is recording the meeting tonight for his YouTube video. Oh, it isn't. Okay. We were in executive session from 5 to 6, maybe 6:10, for employee reviews. Hearing the visitors.
She can go ahead first.
Sheila.
Do you know anything about this Green Mountain Express bus that's going around town?
No.
Who's the bus?
Oh,
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
the
the one
public
that-
transit.
is that
So,
the one that picks up people if they need to go to doctor's appointments or something? That
Yep.
you call them and they'll bring you to your doctors, yeah.
Does anybody know about it? I mean, was it?
yeah, it's pretty well,
Seniors, some seniors know
Yeah.
about it, I mean,
Oh, okay. I just saw it the other day, and nobody seemed to know about it.
in mass. Yeah, so the Green Mountain Express
Okay.
comes from the Bennington area, and their depot is, it's kind of like brain burning in the back of my head, but it's in the Bennington area, I want to say, and it's like a transit authority. It's like the regional transit authority for the area. You can call them. I don't know what the equivalent is for a PT1 form in Vermont, but if you have like certain insurance, they provide you a certain amount of trips to doctor's appointments. Plus, you can do a pay by fare. You know, it's a bus too. You know, they do busing. I mean, they bring people from the Pownell area to North Adams early in the morning for a doctor's appointment. Oh, bus them. I mean, they're nice.
I knew a couple of people in Stamford that did take advantage of it. You call, make an appointment,
Yeah, they don't like coming here, but
they take you to your doctor's appointment, but I don't know if it's just in Vermont or if they'll take you into Massachusetts, that I don't know.
yeah, they're DOT certified.
Sheila, call the 211 number.
I don't want to know. I just want to know what it is.
Okay.
It's been because the two people I talked to who are seniors didn't know what it was either.
Okay.
So, do they take you to North Adams? Do they take you to Bennington, bring you back, or
They
what?
must have a website.
Well, I don't think they leave you there.
Yeah,
I think they take you back.
I think if anybody can call them.
Okay.
They take you to the casino back?
Probably.
Go down to the casino.
May do a casino trip, I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay. Pete?
So I just wanted to reach back around and see if you guys had an opportunity to discuss what was brought up in the last board meeting regarding the conflict of interest. If you guys were able to get a hold of the Vermont, the VLCT, or you guys spoke about it, what?
Well, we haven't
maybe some-
spoken about it because it would have been out of the meeting, so it would be here. But I did get stuff from VLCT and I sent the email on to the board.
Okay.
But I'm still waiting for VLCT to get back to us because they brought it to their legal department. Because as you know, there is no statutory conflict between collector delinquent taxes and JP.
It's not the actual JP that's the question, it's the fact that the individual sits on the Board of Civil Authority. So when you sit on the Board of Civil Authority as a tax appeal, and you have a say in that, those people that are looking for that appeal, like we stated in the meeting, generally have already gone into delinquency. So most of them are waiting to get through that process to pay
Yeah.
their bill. And so with that being said, if that individual has a say in that tax appeal, that directly affects their pay. And so that's where that conflict for me comes in. So it's a yes, I know it's the JOP that it's used as, but of course, in order to be on the Board of Civil Authority, you have to be a justice of the peace.
Right.
So, and so the other job that's held, which we all know that many people in small towns hold multiple positions on board, like, get it, okay, but to have, it just comes back to you collect delinquent taxes to get paid for it based on the amount of 5%, which we know, we won't reiterate that and go down that road, but then to have a say in the abatement, a say in the assessment, a voice in the assessment, a voice in the abatement, and a voice in the tax appeal. That's, I don't care what Vermont says, that looks really bad for our town and anybody sitting in that position. And that could be you, that could be him, that could be anybody that has that position that is in all those positions at the same time. Just look at that. So I just wanted to see, because I mean, it just cost us, which I was just talking, it just cost us $1,000 to run an election, a runoff election, which if, I'm trying not to have it be a personal thing, but the individual is part of the JOP, and so, which is the Board of Civil Authority, and if that person had stepped away, we don't spend $1,000 on an election. It's a dead issue. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that she should have done that. Like, that's her own right to do whatever, you know? But bottom line is here we are. I just don't want to go around and around and around, because I'm not going away. I'm going to be here until I find out, because the longer this goes, the more people I talk to, the more people are like, really, that happens? Like, a lot of people have no idea that, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I don't think it's maliciously happening. It's just what is there.
Perceived.
Yeah, and it just does look so bad.
Well, like I said, I'm waiting for the legal department to get back to me. I just emailed them yesterday and still nothing. Our conflict of interest policy, from what I'm understanding, the state one will override ours. So everything will be through the state with that ethics committee.
That comes out
And
January
we need to
1st.
appoint somebody
Yeah.
on that.
I was just gonna mention that too, like, they want an appointee for an ethics liaison.
Yeah, so I was gonna bring that up later in the
Yeah.
meeting too.
I mean, I
under
tend
correspondence.
to agree with what Pete's saying, it doesn't look great.
But I mean, I did go back and look for the 10 years that that this person was on both boards, that, the one opinion did not sway the board's decision, because it's always a board decision.
It swayed my decision.
It swayed your decision?
It sure did. She was the tipping, if she recused herself from that vote in the Board of Civil Authority, it's like almost like a deadlock. And you'll have better idea because you were there and you were there. You guys understand who was voting, but from what I'm told, because I wasn't there and it wasn't recorded, is that the voting came down to that one sway vote, which was her. So that's one of those things that's kind of like, it's that kind of, we say that doesn't happen, but I know it did. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to be that guy, And again, it could have been you that sat there in that meeting and had the conversation with me and had the opinion. And again, this isn't personal. This is just fact.
What I would like to look at is, one thing I read was, about the recusing of people. You know, that's a volunteer thing.
Right.
The board can't force someone to recuse. But if someone did recuse every single abatement,
Mhm.
you know, what are the other, duties of a JP? So, say I wanna be a JP and I'm sitting in that position, are there all these other duties that I can recuse myself on that position, but do all these other things?
So
I know you
from-
marry someone, but what else is there? You
So
know?
from what I read, there is other things that the JP does that is clearly not just the Board of Civil Authority.
Right.
But you can't not be part of the Board of Civil Authority. It's part of your duty
But
as a
you
JP.
can, in that
You can't
position, recuse yourself every single case, you could. It's
You
possible,
did- Somebody would be like, I mean, at that point, you're
it's
useless
possible, but
on the
it's
Board of Civil
useless,
Authority.
right,
If it
right,
didn't go delinquent, just a regular hearing,
yeah.
you might
That's a
not
different-
have to accuse
So I don't,
yourself.
yeah, I mean, I've looked into it a little
Yeah.
bit, I saw your email and was waiting myself. I do, just like I said last meeting, I do tend to agree that, there's certain times where everybody does the right thing and you still look like you're doing something wrong. And you look and say, what is it for the best of the town? What is it for the best of?
It's almost like even for the
Yeah.
best of, for yourself.
Right.
You know, you
So,
don't wanna put yourself in a compromising.
there's really no reason for, I mean, I agree with Nancy when it comes to that board. Personally, that meeting, I don't know, I can't remember what the vote was, but I made a motion to lower your abatement and it passed. I remember that part of it, so your abatement actually lowered. So I don't think she would have been a factor at all, but that's not, I guess it doesn't matter if we go individual stuff.
And that was done in executive session though,
Yeah,
or,
well.
deliberative session, yeah,
deliberation,
so there was no notes on that.
Yeah, so, but it doesn't matter, it's like you're saying, it doesn't matter what the facts were in the meeting, it's the perception of what could happen.
And that's all,
That's
what
where
it
I'm
comes
got,
Okay.
okay.
How long has this individual had all
10
these
years.
positions?
About 10 years,
10 years.
10 years?
More.
More than 10 years?
just about,
So,
just about.
I would recommend as a board.
No,
as a-
JP and delinquent tax collector.
As a board member, I would recommend that we have an executive session to talk to her as an employee,
Sure.
and talk to her and discuss it with her and see if there's a road that we can go down that everybody's in agreement. That's what I think. It may be smooth, it may not be.
We will be reviewing employees, so that could be brought up
Yeah.
in there too.
I think that's something we should take both sides of a story. As a board, look at it, Pete's giving his side of the story, and take the other side of the story and look into it.
And excuse
And look,
herself from the
and look into what the state says and go from there. What was that now?
She can always excuse herself from.
Yeah, but if you're doing it for every meeting, there's no
Correct,
sense
but
of
that's,
for that sort of.
well, that's what I'm just, and that's why I asked that question, and I think that it's something we should respect. Some of it did work for 10 years doing something. I don't think it's a personal thing. I think it's it may be. I don't know if it is personal or not. I don't care. I do agree that it doesn't matter whose name was in that. If you just say, like you said, if it was me or if it was Jen or he said, when you just throw someone's name in there, it's still the same issue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If
So
this
it's-
person that is the delinquent tax collector, whoever that person may be in any town,
Right.
if that person doesn't have anything to do with the other boards, it's a dead issue.
It's okay.
Yeah,
Right.
Okay,
Right.
Great, you
Yeah.
collect taxes and I
Sure.
don't care how you get paid.
Right.
Like, whatever, I don't
Yeah.
care how you
Yeah.
get your money. That's not my job, but.
I mean, it would be, I mean, maybe it's a good time to bring up, or maybe it's an appeal to the public. It would be nice to get some diversification, I guess, in a lot of these boards, and get
Sure.
more people involved, that we don't have to be repetitive and
That's
have
the other
people
thing.
serve on 2, 3, 4
That's the other
boards.
thing that was brought up at the last meeting, Kurt, was this town, and Pete called me out on it and said, you know, I say it all the time, we're fortunate, you know, that we have people,
Right.
you know, we're literally having elections, that people are going, wow, we had a runoff election to, you know, other towns would be going, geez, we got 12 openings here, what are, you know, for all these boards. We're fortunate enough to have people saying, hey, if there's an opening
Let
for
me
that board, put me on the list. You've done that, you know, put me on the you know, cleanup or whatever you wanna call it, you know, and I'll jump in, I'll do it, you know. So it's fortunate we have that, so if we are having that, that's a great time to let that new group of generation step in.
Right. I mean, we're gonna have to replace certain people at some point, right? So
And I don't think that
it'd be nice
this
to have
position that
deputy
we're talking
member.
about is a very, it's an important position,
Yeah,
but it's a very big board.
right.
You know, that board of abatement
Yeah.
at Civil Authority is a big
Yeah.
board, it's for
12 or 13.
12, 13 people on that board. It's a big board, so it's, one individual doesn't have a ton of power. You know, the tax collector has much more power than
I guess it's not so much the sway of the vote, it's the opinion that shouldn't be had. Okay, so for example, if I didn't pay I'll use myself because I did it, that when I go for the Board of Civil Authority, I hadn't paid my taxes. Okay, and I hadn't paid my taxes for a reason. I wasn't gonna give you the money and have to sit and wait for a check from you guys, whatever, I'll pay my $300 fine, whatever, okay? So that it should have been, that individual that was sitting in that position should have recused themselves from that any conversation and a vote. And it didn't happen. So that's all I can vouch for. I can't vouch for any other person's hearing, but that to me is where I see an issue.
Yeah.
That's it.
And before this happened with you, I never thought about it, and I don't think any of us ever
No.
thought there was a
You know,
conflict at all.
during that hearing, when it's in the public, she could show up and still have an opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing we can do about that, right?
Oh, yeah.
So anyone could have it go in a public opinion, it's in the deliberation.
Yeah,
Correct.
That the opinion would be
Yeah.
squashed.
Yeah, because anybody can come and sit at this meeting
Right.
Sure.
and have an
Sure.
opinion.
right.
I mean, are people gonna frown on that individual, whoever it may be?
Right.
You know, maybe, but that's not who mine is, you know, it's a public forum. You
Sure.
come and say whatever you want, but in terms of.
It's no different when I go to the plan board meeting. I'm a select board member, but I go there as an individual saying,
Right.
hey, look, yeah, you know I'm a select board member, but it doesn't hold water. I admit, I don't have any authority there. I just say, but I have an opinion
Yep.
that you guys should be doing this and give you my opinion. It may sway you, it may not.
Absolutely.
I get it.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I still have it on my list, I'm still,
Well, I'd like to put that on our
Yeah.
agenda,
yeah,
if you
it's,
don't mind, to,
no,
or, you know, we're gonna be doing that anyway.
We're not gonna
with
lose it.
Employee review.
yep, I got it
And,
down.
I do agree, one more thing I agree with is this kicking the can stuff,
Yeah.
I can't stand
I
it,
hear you.
and we talk about it too
Yeah.
much for me, so.
Yeah, that whole, like, it used to be that way, so why, is that what you're talking
No,
about?
just kicking the can like.
Oh, just keep it
Next
going?
meeting,
Yeah,
next
let's
meeting.
talk about it next meeting.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys wanna put a sign up? Let's talk about it next meeting.
Yeah.
4 years later, we still have, you know, stuff like that drives me nuts, you know?
Clean it up.
We were talking about over there, you know, we've been 10 years talking about who owns this building. 10 years, nobody really.
So there's a lesson on Sesame Street when we were about 5 or 6 years old. There was a hole in the bucket.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. There's a hole in the bucket.
there's a hole in the bucket.
Sheila,
When has
I'm
anybody,
trying to plug it.
wait a minute,
Yeah.
Sheila,
when has anybody taken out papers to run against this person? Anybody can take out
Oh, yeah.
papers and run against somebody.
yeah.
A long time.
It's been, probably
This year.
No, more than
No,
20
but
or
I'm saying
30
this
years.
year, this year. I said.
Oh, for
Yeah.
the collector delinquent taxes?
Oh, no,
Yeah,
the
that's-
justice of the
The
peace.
justice of the
I'm
peace.
going after justice of the peace.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't want her to
yeah.
leave.
Yeah,
She
absolutely.
does a great job now.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good
no.
job, she does.
Oh, yeah, this is nothing to do with it. I'm just
I
saying,
want
if
her
there
to-
is a conflict,
Yeah,
the easiest thing to do is
Are
to
the
say,
two
you know,
boards.
hey, these two boards here, there's a conflict. Yeah, I agree. If, let's just say we bring it up to the person and they say, yeah, I agree with that.
no,
If they don't agree, then there's another, then we have to
exactly, I mean,
Do something.
talk about it. Yeah.
justice of the peace one's expandable to me.
Yeah.
She needs to be the collector of delinquent
Oh,
taxes.
yeah,
Till there's
yeah.
somebody better or whatever.
That's,
I couldn't
That's a
agree
tough
more with
position.
that. I don't think it has anything to do
Right,
with,
right, yeah.
with that. Yep, thank you.
okay,
Thank you.
You guys all
I have
set?
one more thing to say.
Yep.
No.
are you a visitor?
No,
Oh.
no, I'm actually a co-chairman of this book, no. The, talk about like the expense of, if this happens, that someone steps down, the board can appoint
No,
an elected official.
not JO,
Not
not
the JP.
JP.
Okay,
Not
so
a JP.
I'm asking that question.
Yeah, the governor
So then we would have to have another election.
No, the JP, the
Oh, the
State.
state,
The
okay,
state.
that's my
state
question,
appoints.
okay.
Yeah.
And
I know we
think-
did it with the select board.
Right,
Don't
we
just
can-
say-
I'm not
Yeah,
100%,
that
but I
was-
think that they might take a recommendation.
Okay,
Like, for example, we'll just use an example, the runoff that just happened.
yep,
One person won, one person lost.
right,
The board
The
may be
loser
able
would
to
be the
send the
recommendation.
loser's name
yeah, cause
to.
it's so fresh.
Correct.
That's what we did with this, the, select board, it was so
Yeah.
fresh, we had a select board member that left right away.
I don't know if they'll take it as any weight, but maybe
Yeah.
they will, but I would assume that they probably would if that person's been there for, a couple times, but no, the select board can, only the state can do the
There's
JP.
something to do with a JP is more of a regional or a county position.
Yeah.
Yeah, because something about,
Yeah, cause their election happens a different time, right?
yeah,
I'm good,
okay.
thanks.
Regular minutes of November 21st. Can I have a motion
Sure.
to
Motion
accept them
to accept.
as written?
I wasn't
You weren't here.
here. Yeah, it was the last meeting,
Right, Kurt was not present.
John, you were here, weren't you?
Yeah,
You wanna say that?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Road conditions,
They just went to bed,
yeah,
said it's snowing out.
yep,
We're Thanksgiving Day, he had to work, and he had to work again, this 24 hours of plowing.
and he had a breakdown, he just sat on top of Maltese Road,
Yeah.
where the plow came off the truck, and it wasn't fun.
He said he spent half the day under the truck and half of it in it.
Yeah.
They looked at what, both of them, they
Both of
looked
them.
at what.
Recycling. Laura, you had something on recycling.
Yeah, we had a surprise inspection from the state. Agency of Natural
Surprise,
Resources, yeah, showed up unplanned. He was able to not do a full inspection because there weren't people there. But he said the area was tidy, he did not observe any solid waste violations. He sent this email as a courtesy appreciation of our work and how well we're taking care of it.
Could you, put that in Dave's box, let him know, and probably give a copy to Buzz and
Laura,
Laura,
not Laura.
Carol.
Ooh, she getting anything. Carol.
Okay. Anything else on recycling? Discussion, review and revise highway ordinance.
This is one of those kick the can ones. I read it. I
Good.
don't have any problems now with your changes.
Well,
If you wanna
I do.
change it, that's fine. Tell me, discuss it.
Discuss it. I would like to talk to Dave. There's a couple of things on here that I wasn't quite sure of what we meant when we did talk to Dave a while ago. It was probably in August.
Which
Yeah,
one?
it was a while ago.
Yeah,
And Dave has not seen this.
right. So I'd like Dave to look at it, and if I could talk to Dave there's a couple spots where we just have trail, but we probably should say legal trails, because we have legal trails.
Okay.
Some of it was just like, well, you know, vocabulary changes.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
which is where it helps.
Yeah.
And there's a couple spots in here where we have the standard, where Agency of Transportation using the standard plan V.71. Well, that's now outdated, so we probably should note it in the ordinance too, but I wanna run it by Dave and I think there was one spot we said to remove this word, but I don't think we removed it, so, but maybe it was my notes too that,
I don't know.
so I just wanna make sure. Oh, and Haggerty's Bridge.
It's not Haggerty anymore.
I know, we've gotta come up with a, he's gotta see if there's a number on that bridge. Cause, does anybody know, not you Sheila,
Yeah.
do you know where Haggerty's Bridge is? Don't answer that, cause you know where it is.
Yes, I do.
But, see, nobody knows where Haggerty's Bridge is, so this,
You wanna know?
no, we know.
Yes, I do wanna know.
Oh, maybe Mike
I
doesn't.
need to know.
East Road,
East Road.
Yeah,
there's a bridge up there?
Yeah,
I don't know what-
yeah.
Oh, it goes over, Ayers, the little stream there, that's a bridge.
Between
Oh,
Haggerty's and,
jeez.
That was over the culvert.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah,
big.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
so it might be better to have a bridge number or,
Okay, so we're gonna have Dave pick through this, would you?
yeah.
We should've gave him this before he left.
No, I think he's tired. I think he's tired there.
Then nobody will know where it is with a number.
I know.
No, you're the only one in this room that knew where it was, it's you and Nancy.
I knew where Haggerty's was.
Yeah,
I will.
yeah.
I was trying
Oh,
to
you did
think
too?
about where the
Yeah.
bridge
Do I wanna
was.
say the old people or just
Yeah, I don't wanna
the
be
people
there.
that lived in Stamford forever?
Yeah, right, right. So, if, I can work with Dave and Lori and see if we can just get David here a few minutes and.
Kick the can again.
I
Go ahead.
know, well, it's better to have it now than go in the
Who
paper.
caught the word insured? You
Insure,
I'm
unsure.
thinking that it was
or the
operator,
computer?
I think it was operator error
You
in,
caught it?
I think
Oh, you caught it.
she caught it. But I think it was operator error 10 years ago. Oh, no. Yes, 10 years was you, Lori, so.
Yeah.
Before
My
that.
C average and grammar would have been.
I was gonna say, no way I would've caught that. It was-
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I get that.
Yep,
Yeah.
sounded okay.
So
Not right. Not right.
insured
You wanna
is
know
an
who
E,
lived there
so how come
before?
insurance is the I?
You wanna insure something or
Because we're
insure.
saying that you're wrong.
You want to be sure that's right. What's that?
Bitches lived there before Haggerty.
Bitches.
Oh, I don't
Sheila, that's
That's too far
kind
back.
of waiting for us.
That's too far back. They
Yeah,
have a car or a
they-
horse?
Oh,
Come
okay.
on, Kurt, you know all the history.
I know, I don't know a lot of history of that house, other than
Well, I
Haggerty.
didn't think there was somebody in there before, in between, but
Yeah, I know it was an old house.
a long time ago.
My brother used to work for Haggerty's
Yeah.
farm, when they had a little farm.
All right. Correspondence.
Alright. So the, Merck agreement, you guys signed the grant agreement maybe 2 meetings ago, the 33,000 for the garage doors and stuff. Now we have to sign an affirmation of use of funds, basically saying we agree to use the funds they give us for the purposes of giving them to us.
Okay. More
Um,
paperwork.
Paperwork on top of paperwork.
They're giving us the funds, now we gotta use it.
All of us or just
What
like?
did I say, just Nancy?
Oh, just her.
All right.
And then we also, would like to apply for a new grant every, I don't know what it is now, 5 or 10 years. The state tells Dave he has to go through and do an inventory of all of his culverts, his water crossings, everything. And last time, we had the DCRC guys come down and go around with them, because they have to map, you know, if there's critical problems, you know, minor problems, if everything is good, and put everything on a priority list. And so Dave felt it was good to have their assistance last time, and would like to get a grant to hire them to do the same thing this time. So the first step would be to sign the letter of intent saying we intend to file for grant.
We can,
Intend?
then we will file,
Yeah.
and we'll say we're gonna do it.
Yeah, and then we will
Then you
use the
fi-
money
then you
for
file.
that.
You intend to, and then you do it.
So,
And that's all I have.
Do those culverts and stuff go on class 4 roads or just 3s? I'm not complaining, I'm just asking.
No problem,
That's a
looking at all
question
of
for
it.
Dave.
Who replaces the culvert if there's an issue?
Been up there.
Dave.
Then I would say yes. I would assume that they do.
Yeah, the culverts, I'm not complaining, I'm just saying, I know he's got a lot of other priorities, but
Those are probably all majorly undersized.
they're rough shape, rough shape. I mean, crushed,
Cast iron.
you know.
Clogged.
Yeah, there's no one.
Non-existent.
We open them up on
Right,
our
out
own,
on
you
this.
know? And we don't have a problem doing that, I don't have a problem fixing, by my land, and nobody else has a problem, as long as we don't hear from the other side going, hey, you can't do that, we can't work together, but they're in rough shape, to replace one, you gotta buy it, then, now it costs. And like you said, if you do it with the right way, if they're this big, now you gotta be this big.
Some states are like mapping them all out, every single
Really?
culvert, masses, they're mapping out every
That's what they're
single
doing.
culvert in the entire state.
Wow.
They're asking for like volunteers and stuff.
we have it now on one of our
We have it now.
GIS.
Yeah, and this is an update and see which ones we've corrected, what ones, where everything's.
A lot of it's to do with, a lot of it's in the climate adaptation money.
Yeah.
Fish passages, things like that, not just.
Well, there ain't no fish going through these
Yeah,
out
not
there.
there, but that's where the money's at, the research, why they're trying to document them all.
Sure.
Brook trout,
Good job.
it's all about the brook trout.
Yeah, they all go down to Beaver Street anyway.
Yeah, exactly, go down to the park.
The dam.
No,
I
not
brook-
down past that, upper Hudson Brook.
I could put a message in a bottle and send it to you down at your place from my camp.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Starts up there, I got two of them, they split, but that's my borderline goes up.
There's one by the property line, and
Yeah.
I consider the source of Hudson up past county. I always go to the farthest point where water comes in. So both Hudson and Hoosick start in,
Yeah.
well, Hoosick's in Hartwell, but
Right,
Stanford. It's all Stanford water.
Okay, Monday night, we have a town meeting at 7? 7. So, I should have made this, yeah, make some copies of that. That's just the outline of what happened. It might be good to have it at town meeting. Paul Lethier did send us an email that the truck is coming in $15,000 less than they thought. So we will have enough money. We were gonna be short about $1,500, and now
covered.
it's covered. I'm thinking we have been putting $50,000 away each year for the new fire truck. Now to pay for this fire truck, I'm thinking between 55 and 60,000 a year. But I'm not sure, but I don't know until we get the loan but we will know at budget time because,
Well, we can go not to exceed,
yeah, we said not to
Up
exceed
to.
270.
yeah.
$270,000 to borrow, but we'll
Yeah.
find out by budget time what we need to put in our budget to pay for the fire
But this
truck.
meeting is just to cover what we didn't do is buy the truck.
Right. If you see the outline that I
We
wrote up in,
We
it was,
got a vote, right?
yeah,
We got a vote to pay for the truck, to put money away for the
Right.
truck, but we didn't get the vote to buy it.
yeah.
We messed up.
March of 2022, this is when it started, to put $50,000 into a fire truck replacement fund, but there was already $81,000 in there. We were putting like 5 or 10,000 a year,
Right.
and we realized that was not gonna be enough. So in December of 2022, we estimated the cost at $498,000. But that was just a ballpark figure. Then in 2023, the fire department intends to purchase the chassis from the replacement fund. We won't need the rest of the financing for another couple of years. These were all taken from our minutes. And then in 23, still too soon to start the loan process. It won't be ready for 2024-25. Then in July 24, Select Board authorized the payment of $107,000 for the cab and chassis. And my written note said it will cost $526, and that's probably when we should have started warning for a special town meeting, but we just assumed that
Yeah.
it was done. And then the bank picked up on it that we need town people approval, and it's also a state law that when we're buying something like that, we do need townspeople approval. So hopefully, everybody will approve the purchase of a fire truck, otherwise we'd have a fire truck partially paid for that's not ours.
Could get repo.
And we need $133,000 due from the town, and we have about $147,000 already set aside for it. So our loan is, we're asking the townspeople to approve the purchase of a fire truck for Article 1. Second article is to borrow up to $270,000. So hopefully everything goes well. And we don't have a snowstorm because that'll cut down on attendance too. Lori, on our ARPA fund in DV fiber, no one took advantage of the $7,500 that we gave to DV fiber. So do we have to ask for it back, or are they gonna send it voluntarily? I think we should ask for it back.
Yeah, and then the other thing is so can we redirect it? And do we have a time limit to redirect it?
I believe we can redirect it, and it's gotta be done by December 31st.
So let's ask for it, and next meeting, we can talk about maybe somewhere we can redirect that money, even if it's just into a fund that we already have, a savings fund. It's,
No,
oh, it has to be,
No.
okay, so it has to go to
we can
something.
put it onto the East Road, chip seal project, our percentage.
Okay, oh, 'cause that's not covered, we didn't cover the whole thing? I
I
thought we did.
don't know if we did.
Well, we'll look into it, we'll have to look into it, I thought we covered the whole.
Maybe we could use it for recycling, improvements?
That might be covered.
Yeah.
That might be covered. But we have to have it done by the end of December, otherwise it goes back.
Well, let's dig
One
in
more
and see
meeting,
what
one more
the
meeting
intention
to
is.
cover.
Yeah.
That'll be next meeting.
We need to sign anything about it, or just say it at a meeting? Just make a motion at a meeting?
To ask for it back?
No, to,
commit.
Just says to
Minute.
be committed, not spent, be spent.
I have to
No,
make
just
quarterly filing.
oh, the
so
quarterly file, okay,
I probably will have to report that it's all been committed,
okay.
and then we have another year
I
to
mean,
spend
does Dave need anything at the town?
That's what I mean,
town
we should-
garage?
In the next 2 weeks, we'll come up with some numbers.
I'm sure
or
he
some
gets kind of
project.
7,500 or something that's needed there.
Yeah.
As long as we come up with something, I mean, it's crazy to not use it.
Yeah, we
Yep.
should use it for sure.
Oh, that reminds me, remember we, submitted our passive grant application?
Oh, yeah,
We did what, the eye wash
yep. And,
thing, and we bought eye wash solution for it, cause it didn't come with it, and we bought an exit sign. And submitted everything, and they came back and said the eye wash solution isn't covered. So you could buy the eye wash container and get, no eye solution to put in it.
That doesn't surprise me.
So,
You
No.
would think it would, but it would.
If there's anything that surprises you nowadays, and
Okay.
you're living under a rock, cause it's, you can think it, it'll happen.
That's
So
it.
did they accept our, so now we gotta,
So I had to do a revised one, take the eyewash solution bottles off and just submit it for the eyewash kit and the exit sign, and now they're happy. So you'll probably have a grant agreement to sign at the next meeting, but.
I think we gotta buy eyewash solution.
She says, you can pick a different kind, these kind over here are covered. It's like, why? We have eyewash solution
Put
now.
water in it.
Some,
Exactly.
okay. All right, that's good, Lori.
You can buy a concentrate that you add water to, or you can buy the actual solution, and they have different kinds.
What is
and-
it? What's
Well, if
the
you get
solution?
something in your eye.
I know that, I mean, what is the solution? What's in the solution?
Water would be good.
Salt water, saline.
So put water goes back, it hits the
Outside.
Equalize and what?
Yeah, so it's just clean, sterilized,
Yeah, sterilized water.
just sterilize it.
Okay.
Probably causes a
Puree water.
Now our auditors, I think, didn't we hire them for 2 years? So they should be set for,
Yeah.
right, if we find out when they wanna come in January, maybe we can get a fund balance by town meeting. I don't think they'll work that fast, but,
I know, when I, tried last year, I think they wanted to wait.
that's
I mean, I
right,
don't think they came until what, May?
that's right, they wanna wait for 3 months and,
3 months after the close of the year.
yep.
And I can try. We're used to the other ones who came right away in
Right.
January, but these guys several different.
Yeah. Okay. Let's keep it on our list, kick it down the road for a couple months there. Make sure they,
You pick it on me.
ARPA was good. Lori, you were gonna talk to us about dog license, that's increasing through the state.
Right, at this point, dogs either cost $9 or $13. We get 4, the state gets 5, like for the $9 dog. The state has decided to increase their portion of the fee by $2. So now it's gonna be 11 and 15.
So can we increase ours?
Well, here's the
There's a
thing,
thing.
is in near the end of 2022, 2023,
Yep.
when you guys were reviewing the dog ordinance and whatnot with Luke McKay, you guys made the decision to increase our portion of the dog fees by
$10.
$10. And then when January came around and we flipped the dog licensing stuff over, I forgot all about it. So a year ago, you wanted the licenses increased $10 and it went. And I have not done it, did not do it for all of 2024.
You owe us the money.
And it said, I think we were gonna use it towards, it said we can use it to enforce its animal and rabies control program. So we thought we could use it in a special fund. If Lou picks up a dog that needs to be euthanized, this will pay for it. Or if he's gotta take an injured dog, we don't know the owner, but the injured dog's gotta go to the vet right away.
We had one case that.
Or impound it for 3 months,
Yeah,
Right.
that,
Cadillac.
this
We had one case cost us.
this money would go
More
into
than
that dog
we could
fund.
pay from.
I mean, like I said before, if the state wants to keep raising their portion, why don't they just take over the whole program and we can be.
Come down and find the dogs and.
Hire the dog
Just do it all, impound them, confiscate them, do the whole thing. If they're that worried about, rabies ultimately.
So,
Public health has.
so right now it's 9 and 13, so you're looking to raise it $10 for both, is that what the initial was?
So right now it's 9 and 13. With the state's law, it will be 11 and 15. So starting January 1st, it will automatically be 11 and 15. But that's what got me thinking about dog fees, and I went back in the minutes and saw that they had done a motion to increase dog fees, not to just put in the budget and defray the budget costs, but to kind of start setting aside the
Right.
funds so that
So-
we're not always in
So
the
it
red.
would, so let's say you do that for 2025,
It'll be
Right.
$25.
Yeah.
21 and
We're
25
having trouble
bucks per
collecting that
dog.
money now.
Right,
Yeah.
because the state got to it before we did.
Yeah.
And that's why it's like, oh crap, you know, now.
If we did
our-
it, so we might have to lower that down a little bit to
That's what
justify
I'm
it. But,
thinking.
you know, we're the ones, the state gets their money, that's it. They do nothing else.
Right.
We're the ones that incur every expense, every expense.
What if we don't have a dog officer? Are you required by
We are
law?
required
by
to
the
have
state?
one, and
This
a
board takes
kennel.
over.
They mandate a bunch of stuff, I mean, and they kinda, they strap you in a lot of different ways, and
And
they
the
don't,
kennel-
like they said, they just take the money and that's it, here's your
Yeah.
responsibility.
Dog officer and
Make sure
health
nobody gets
officer
rabies.
go to the board.
We don't
The
have
state's
a.
always-
the state's always dying to take over more and more things, so they can gladly have this one, I mean, here you go.
Right.
And the kennel has to be, I think he said heated, and, so many times a day you have to go and check the
Yeah.
dog.
We're very fortunate to have who we have doing that and taking care of it. And very fortunate, because that's another position that could just go away. You try to fill that.
I mean, last year, I don't know what we spent in the budget last year, but it was quite a bit, everything that went on there.
How much
Was
do
it
we
last
have
year
in
we
the
had
kennel?
that dog problem?
I think it was last year, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We had a
It
house.
was a lot, it was a lot. I forget what the lot was.
The kennel said they would take it, and they said, no, we can't. And I said,
I remember reading about it.
It was-
Disaster.
yeah. So, if we do add on the $10 that we said we were going to, I would like to make a motion, like Mike said, is lower that maybe to 5, and then we have to start a separate dog fund. We'll have to bring it up at town meeting to start this dog fund. That if we need it, we can take it right out of the dog
I
fund.
mean, personally, the number is so low, it shouldn't be a problem, but Pete, when you said, oh, good luck
Yeah.
collecting that.
Yeah,
It will.
it's
The
true.
ones that aren't paying the 9, it would be the ones that won't pay the 15, and then the ones that
Yeah.
won't pay, you could make it $1, they won't pay.
Yeah.
You know, it's just,
It's one of them things too where there's a balance, right? There's a
Yeah.
balance. Where do you cross the threshold where everyone's just like, I'm
we
paying
piss
that.
everyone off, yeah.
And it's not, it doesn't seem to be that people can't afford it, it's just, they don't take, oh, my dog never goes out, so he's not gonna get rabies. Well, that's not true.
If you own a dog, you can't afford the $10, $20 for this, you shouldn't own a dog. It costs a lot more to raise a dog than that.
Yeah. Between spaying and some people get their dogs,
Just
have
feed
their
it.
teeth cleaned,
Oh,
and
I
there's a lot of,
I had
lot
dogs.
of money in that.
So glad
Yeah.
they're gone.
So,
My kids aren't, but I'm
yeah.
glad.
So we follow through with this $10 for the town, reduce it, what do we do?
Well, I mean, what's the state going up to, 15?
11 and 15, $2 on
I
each
mean,
side.
it don't matter to me, I mean, I don't want a dog, so, no. But
So what would it be total?
if
11
we,
and 15 with just the
Okay.
state.
without us raising it at all,
Okay.
so I just don't believe that a $20 bill hurts anyone that owns a dog. And, you know, that doesn't get it spaded, I mean, $20 over a year's time, come on, with $20. So, I mean, if you went to 5, it would be 20. 16?
16 and 20.
Mhm.
I mean, if you wanna lower it for the, you know, because we were gonna raise it 10, now the state just raised it.
Mhm.
I know, I felt bad, I feel.
How much did the state raise it from?
$2.
$2?
They used, well, they used, out of $9 dog, we keep 4, they get 5.
Right.
So now we're gonna keep 4, they're gonna get 7.
What a house job.
Yeah. Exactly. You know, I mean, I know it's
But we're
little
talking
amounts of
three
money.
dogs are in town.
It's not over the state, if we take the entire
All
state,
over, yeah, all over the state, yeah.
it's a lot of money.
Okay.
How many dogs in town?
275
shysters.
maybe.
Yeah.
It's a good thing, we need to pay for our expenses, like I said with the recycling, and I know we've had.
We're gonna go up 10.
We shouldn't be
Go
taking
up
a
5,
loss.
Go up 5.
Right,
Motion to go up $5 on a dog
Second.
license.
yeah, second.
I agree. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
we just shouldn't be taking losses all the time, you know? I mean, I know there's a service to,
Life's not getting any cheaper.
no,
That's a guarantee.
So so hypothetically speaking, that 1,300 every year will just go into this fund and just stay there to either do a rabies clinic or will it continue to build up for when you have a?
I wanna
Not
say we
so.
spent, is it $7,000 unreasonable for what we spent last year?
yeah,
And
no,
that's
it's not.
what
And then
Oh, I'm
we,
sure.
$7,000 for 2 dogs.
yeah.
But my point is, it just goes into a fund, is what I'm saying.
Sure,
Like
sure.
you said you're gonna go into the
Yeah.
town meeting and
Yeah.
make a fund for.
Right,
Right,
and
right.
spend, and it gets spent on dogs.
Just dogs.
Only, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah,
Whether to, all I can think is euthanize or board them.
Or,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if it got so crazy that we would need a regular.
Sheriff, hire a
animal,
sheriff.
right?
We've had to hire a sheriff to come down, that should come out of that money.
So the state law, if I'm not correcting you, if you don't license your dog, like, we're in our well-given right to go to the house and you.
There's a process, but yeah,
Yeah.
God forbid it happens,
Yep.
but
yep, you send a ticket, and it goes
that's
to the
gotta
court
be covered
system.
some way, or
Yep.
if it comes to,
Pete, even the ticket money doesn't come to us, goes to the state. We send a ticket.
Could you imagine somebody showing up to your house and going, give me your dog?
Right.
That's why the
Yeah.
sheriff,
Right,
that's why the sheriff.
Come and get
goes
so then you gotta hire a sheriff. Yeah.
that's why you're like, we're nice, like, come on guys, please
Yeah.
register your dog, you know, we don't
We had
want.
a year
Yeah.
where we sent out warrants to euthanize
But,
dogs.
I mean, you would think if there was someone in the town that was, you know, down and out, okay? I can't afford it, I'm down and out, I haven't paid my taxes, I haven't paid my dog, you know, for $20, I don't want everybody coming in that, but I'd give you the $20 in 2 seconds, say, here you go, or you're down and out.
Give
You
it a
know,
We've had
ride,
that,
whatever
a
you need, I
selectman
don't
do
wanna
that
see the
before.
dog.
Yeah, you know, I mean,
It's
it's awful,
Yep.
you know, we wouldn't do that, we would just, you know, I mean, at least if I'm on the board, I would help people.
I think it's there more to like persuade you, you know, like to persuade the person to.
Yeah, there's people that are the same offenders every year,
Every year.
you know, and the
Same
same
thing with
thing,
taxes.
yeah, same thing with taxes, exactly the same offenders.
There's usually like
Well,
a
you're
dog,
lucky, don't worry, we'll get you on the list.
dog fight case every April too, as soon as it gets warm out, someone will get bit.
Yep.
Well, that one that we went through, that was
Yeah.
a multiple time, the dog bits, you know, attacked other dogs, multiple time, you know, it was awful.
Yeah, it was a rough case.
How is the dog officer paid?
He has a budget, he's paid by
Hour?
hourly, and then he, you know, he only can go within the budget, if he goes over budget, then you have to adjust. But he doesn't get paid from any of the,
I didn't know.
yeah, just as a call. I don't think he goes over budget, too often,
I don't think so.
No.
either. And of course, it depends on the year too.
but the budget's very low.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's right in the town,
No, it's up, it's up,
yeah, it's right in the, I forget what
yeah,
it was.
it's not
Oh,
like
that's
5,000 though.
That's from 2022.
Yeah, you know what I mean, you're a dog officer on call,
You're
All year
volunteering,
long.
I mean,
it's about, yeah, it's almost volunteer.
just the 3 months of care, like last year, right? He had to feed them, you know, do
Right.
everything with the dogs.
Go out, feed them, water them, make sure they're okay, keep the heater going.
Yeah.
Yeah, last
And
year's,
do all the paperwork so he can get reimbursed from the town for, you know, all his expenses.
last year, well, in 2023, we budgeted $500 and it cost us $4,000.
Not for
the
him,
dog. No, for the
No,
dog
right.
expense.
right,
And that was that,
that was a
Dog
case,
problem
one
we had.
case.
so,
But if that doesn't happen, then the 400 is fine, you know? So, but this fund that we can keep building up will be there for us.
Right. Now, the other, last thing I have is, we got a letter from the Vermont, or email I did, maybe Laurie got it and sent it to us, from Vermont State Ethics Commission, that the January 1st, by January 1st, we have to appoint an ethics liaison to serve as a point of contact between the town and the Ethics Commission.
Volunteers step right up.
It could be one,
You're
somebody.
trying to get someone ethically off this board?
Yeah, we could could be one of the selectmen.
Do we
I
appoint somebody?
I had thought of Doug, but of course he's not here, so.
So
we
let's
should-
elect him now while he's not
Yeah,
here.
I know.
Can we appoint somebody?
We can. And then, all the select board has to take and, you have to go to education on this ethics committee
Ethics
too.
stuff?
It's probably gonna be an online training.
I used to teach ethics, so
Okay, well, I think you still have to pay that money.
do as I say, not as I do.
So do you want to see first if there's any volunteers that want to be appointed to it? And then Doug is here next time, I would like to appoint him, but I can't do it without him here. So,
Should we ask Sally Bowl, does she like that?
yeah.
You know, it's still hot season, be careful.
All right. Anything else for select board meeting?
Just wanna mention the Christmas tree.
Is
Yeah.
yeah, it's cute.
I don't know if it'll ever open up because it's so cold, hopefully it
Yeah.
will. But it's up, and I guess nobody stepped forward to do any events, but at least the tree's up.
Tree's
Put some
up,
lights on it.
it's cute.
Get some lights on.
John, son donated it, so I'd like to thank John.
Yep, it's a cute
Right.
little tree. Executive session, do we need to go in? Nothing we haven't heard, okay. And our next meeting is
December
18th,
19th is the regular meeting.
okay. We may have to go early again, if we have other employees we need to review, we can talk about that. I can talk to Lori about it anyway, if we need to start early, it probably won't be as early as 5 though. And in January, we're probably gonna be meeting every week because of budgets. The warrant has to be signed and posted by February 2nd.
Yeah, do you wanna meet like December 12th and start budgeting, or you wanna
Oh,
wait? I know you'll not have the full year, but you'll have almost,
The summer stuff is easy, so we can do summer stuff real quick.
Hmm?
I don't care.
I don't-
care. Whatever you
doesn't
wanna do.
matter
Doesn't
either.
matter. I'm fine with
Good,
it. Want
no.
to do the 12th or you wanna wait, whatever.
We could do the 12th and see who else we need to get into executive session to review.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
At 12th at what time? 6, 5?
probably 6. Regular
whatever you
meeting,
want.
12,
What day is it?
12,
The 12th.
Thursday,
So you're
yes.
here anyway, so
That's
it doesn't matter.
12, 6 o'clock. Executive session possibly. And then just a work session for budget, work session. Won't be a regular select board meeting, it'll just be the work session.
Hmm.
Okay. We can review what we can and. Alright, I think that's it.
What day is the town meeting? This
Monday.
coming Monday?
Monday.
It'll be a busy week.
7.
Yeah. Good.
Good, I think we're good, anything else?
Motion
Plenty
guys?
more meeting right after too, if you wanna go to that.
No, no,
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
When did they get changed? When did they get changed?
I hear you.
I know.
Yeah.